I have chosen the trigger. Betrayed by a best friend. Longtime friend steals his idea, partner, or position. I was once a hopeful man. A diligent worker who believed in the strength of relationships and the bonds we forge with others. My life was built on trust, and I had a best friend, Jake, who I thought would stand by me through thick and thin. We shared dreams, ambitions, and even our secrets. We started a business together, pouring our hearts and souls into it, believing we would change the world. I trusted him implicitly, sharing my ideas, my fears, and my aspirations. I thought he was my brother from another mother, the one person I could rely on when the chips were down. But then came the day that shattered everything. It was a typical Tuesday morning when I received a call from a client who, with an air of disbelief, told me that Jake had pitched my idea to a major investor without me. My heart sank as I realized the depth of his betrayal. I felt the ground shift beneath my feet, and a cold sweat broke out across my brow. The very foundation of my trust crumbled, leaving me exposed and vulnerable. I could not believe that someone I had considered family would stab me in the back so mercilessly. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife could, and I was left reeling in pain, grappling with feelings of anger, disbelief, and heartbreak. How could he do this to me? The days that followed were a blur of anguish and despair. I withdrew from the world, feeling as though I had lost more than just a business partner. I had lost a friend, a confidant, a one person who knew me inside and out. My mind spiraled into dark places, filled with thoughts of revenge and justice. I could not let it go. I needed to make him pay for what he had done. But I also knew that I needed to rise from the ashes of this betrayal. I started to plot my comeback, quietly. I began researching every angle of the business that Jake had stolen from me, studying our competitors and analyzing market trends. I spent hours at my computer, sifting through data and formulating a plan. I reached out to old contacts and built new alliances, all while maintaining a facade of normalcy. I could hear the whispers of doubt around me, the pitying glances from those who knew what had happened, and the veiled comments that suggested I would never recover. But I was fueled by a quiet rage that pushed me forward. I'm sure the message is ready. I could see Jake moving up in the world, basking in the glory of my ideas, while I was left in the shadows. The smell of his success sickened me. It was a bitter reminder of what I had lost. I began to hone my skills, sharpening my focus and determination. I spent long nights in solitude, crafting a vision for my new venture, one that would rise from the rubble of my former life. The pain of betrayal became my fuel, igniting a fire within me that refused to be extinguished. I could hear the world around me, the sounds of laughter and success, while I was locked in my own prison of despair. But I was no longer the man who had been wronged. I was a man on a mission. The day finally came when I was ready to strike back. I had secured a meeting with a group of investors who were interested in my vision, a vision that Jake had tried to steal. The air was electric with anticipation as I presented my ideas, laying bare the foundation of what I had built from the ashes of betrayal. I could see the interest spark in their eyes, the realization that I was not just a victim, but a survivor. And then, in a moment of pure catharsis, I revealed the truth about Jake. I spoke of our partnership, the trust I had placed in him, and how he had betrayed that trust for his own gain. The room fell silent as my words pierced through the air like a dagger. I could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on me, the emotional payoff of exposing the lies that Jake had spun. I watched as the investors' expressions changed, their disbelief morphing into disgust at the betrayal I had endured. I could see the wheels turning in their minds, the realization that they were witnessing a man reclaiming his narrative. The climax of that moment became a turning point not just for me, but for everyone who had ever been wronged. I left that meeting with the backing I needed to launch my new venture, one that would not only stand on its own merit, but would also serve as a testament to resilience in the face of betrayal. I poured my heart into that business, using the pain I had endured to fuel my passion and drive. I became not just a survivor, but a mentor, helping others who had faced similar betrayals to rise and reclaim their stories. I started a foundation dedicated to supporting entrepreneurs who had been wronged, providing resources and guidance to those who felt lost like I once did. My experiences transformed me. I wrote a best-selling book that detailed my journey, sharing the lessons I'd learned about trust, betrayal, and the power of resilience. I wanted my story to be a beacon of hope for others, intersectional reminder that one betrayal does not define a man. As I stood on the stage at my book launch, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. I had turned my pain into purpose, using my experiences to uplift others. I no longer felt the need for revenge. Instead, I focused on the legacy I wanted to leave behind. The world may have seen me as a victim once, but now I was a champion for those who had suffered in silence. My journey had come full circle, and I was ready to embrace the future with open arms. I realized that the betrayal had been a catalyst for my transformation, propelling me into a new chapter of my life where I could make a difference. I had learned that true strength lies not in seeking revenge, but in using our experiences to uplift others and create a better world. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe to this channel.